my dear passengers, and welcome aboard the Self Growth Train, a podcast that combines personal stories, opinions, and research in order to better guide you through your self-growth journey. My name is Frances María Rivera Pacheco, and I am your tour guide. First, I want to say thank you for tuning in to another chapter, episode, whatever you want to call it. I know, okay, my dear passengers, I know that I suck at being consistent, and I know that I haven't posted since January, and I'm sorry, okay? Like, I don't do this stuff on purpose. Life be lifing, and I suck at being disciplined and consistent. So, I'm still working on it. Please bear with me. But, yeah, I thought today, maybe it's time to release a new episode, because you haven't released an episode since January, so here I go again. I feel like I don't even know how to do this anymore. Well, my dear passengers, it's time to buckle up those seatbelts as we head into the first stop of the day. That is the topic of the day. And today's topic is friendships. Friendship is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as the state of being a friend. And my dear passenger, I know what you're thinking. We're really discussing friendships on a self-growth podcast? Well, let me tell you, regardless of where you're at in your self-growth journey, friendships are going to propel you forward or hinder you and hold you back. So yes, my dear passengers, today's topic is friendships. So buckle up, because it's gonna be a lot. For today's episode, I will be using 3 resources. 2 of these resources are articles that I found online, and the last but not least is my own personal stories. The first resource that I'm going to use is an article by the American Psychological Association titled "The Science of Why Friendships Keep Us Healthy." But first things first, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. How do you define a friend, or what constitutes being a friend? How is it different from being an acquaintance? Well, let me tell you, the main difference between being an acquaintance and being a friend is the level of loyalty, trust, and mutual benefits that are given in a very affectionate manner. I say affectionate because friendship involves high fives, hugs, maybe even kisses. You don't do that with acquaintances. Or if you do, then you do acquaintances a little bit different than I do. But kudos to you. Anyhow, as we know, especially if you live in America and with American cultural points of view, there's a high emphasis on romantic love. However, scientists has recently taken a kind of exploratory approach to platonic relationships, because it seems that they have the power to affect us positively or negatively depending on how healthy that relationship is within itself. Which means that when you are in a healthy friendship, you know what I'm talking about. You know what those healthy friendships look like. When you are with someone that allows you to be your authentic 100% raw self, you are in the presence of someone that is at peace with you. So therefore your stress levels are down, because you don't have to act like you're anybody else. They accept you for who you are. And also, you're not isolated, because you don't want to put yourself away from this person that understands you and wants to spend time with you. And last but not least, you have a higher satisfaction of life. I mean, here's someone that enjoys spending time with you and creating things with you. Why would you not be happy? And I want to make a quick pause. When I was going through this, I feel it in me. There's some of you out there that don't have that friend, that don't have that person that comes to mind. And I'm going to be honest, like, it might be that you have someone that has been with you for many, many years, and you're just like, well, they're my friend. They've been with me through thick and thin, and I'm just going to keep them because They were there when I needed them. But are they celebrating you and are they pushing you forward now? Because if they're not adding anything to your well being, they're not adding anything to your potential, and they're definitely not adding to your greatness. So I know I'm speaking to somebody out there who, when I was talking about that friend and I had my own friend in my head thinking about like that person that is there for me and that just cheers me on and like allows me to be myself 100,000%, right? And I felt it. I felt that there's people out there that don't have that, or that they have people that sometimes are there for them. And I'm telling you, you need a friend. You need at least one person that you feel safe and secure around, because I will make another pause right here. Self love, self acceptance, self esteem is very, very important. Do not get me wrong. It is good and it is essential for you to have love for yourself, to spend time with yourself, to keep up with yourself. Absolutely. But you also need people. We weren't sent here to be alone. You gotta find your tribe. And I hope that this episode inspires you to look within and just say, who are these people that I call my friends? Are they really there for me? And if they're not, what am I willing to do for myself? Like, what am I willing to do to take care of myself and make sure that I'm taking care of my future self? That I'm looking out for that future version of myself that has those friends that support her, love her, and push her to be the things that she wants to be. But you might still be struggling to define what a good friend is, right? No worries. Our second resource is an article by BetterHelp titled, What is the Definition of a Good Friend? And as always, I put all of these resources in the description, but I'm going to summarize it because I think this is such an important lesson for all of us. So, friendship researcher Lydia Denworth, she found that a good friendship is characterized by 3 core traits. All right, I'm going to read them out loud and then we're going to dissect them. Okay? The first one is stability over time. Second one is positivity in the relationship. And number 3 is mutual cooperation and support. That means that in order for a friendship to be a friendship, it has to be stable over time, it has got to be positive environment, and also there has to be mutual cooperation and support. If it's missing one of the pillars, it's not a friendship, baby, okay? I'm sorry that you're finding out this way, but this is how you needed to find out so that way you can get beautiful friends that are your real true friends, right? And then I also want to touch on the signs of a healthy friendship, okay? So they mention 5 things that shows you that you're in a healthy friendship. The first one is emotional support. Do they support you emotionally when you need them? And do you support them emotionally when they need it? That's a good question. That's a very important question. The second one is good listening. Oh my gosh, I know I can talk. Because let me tell you, I know I can talk. I got a gift. But I also know how to listen. And in a friendship, it is very important to know when is your time to listen and when is your time to talk. So just make sure that there's good listening happening in your friendships, okay? The third one is enjoyment. Like, do you enjoy spending time with your friends? Because if you're not enjoying spending time with your friends, girl, that's the basics. That means that something is wrong, and yeah, you should review this friendship if you're not enjoying it. The other one is empathy, and I think this one is such an important one. They're all important, but I think empathy is the most important one, and that is because they understand and validate your emotions. My dear passenger, when you're going through a self-growth journey, again, regardless of where you're at, there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of emotions that come up. There's emotions of unworthiness. There's emotions of sadness, there's emotions of hurt, there's emotions of danger or of not feeling safe, like being afraid of change and all of that, right? So you need to have people in your life that allow you to express your emotions and also that they understand what you're going through. Like they might not know 100% exactly what you're going through, but they're willing to be there for you. And that's why empathy is such a big one. And then last but not least is forgiveness. Wow. Oh my gosh. Like, I am so blessed that one of my jobs is working with kids because I get to see friendships being formed and maintained in the most innocent, consistent, funny ways. And forgiveness is so easily given when it's children to children. And I just I just think that kids know that like we're just playing. We're just playing around, you know? And sometimes as adults we take things way too seriously. And I think that forgiveness. Forgiveness is such an important aspect of your friendship. And again, if you're not having that in your friendship, I feel for you. I I manifest and pray for better friends in your life because you need somebody that is going to be able to give you at least those five things, okay? And again, this is emotional support, good listening, enjoyment, empathy, and forgiveness. If a person cannot give you those five things, they're not your friend. My dear passenger, this is the moment where I get to share my personal experience with friends, right? I'm gonna be very honest. Like, I have the worst abandonment issues. When I love you fully, and I love you unconditionally, and I love you so intensely that it can be misconstrued, it can also be misunderstood, it can also be taken advantage of. And over the last couple of years, I've had the, in a way, blessing of having people walk out of my life, or forcing people to walk out of my life, or cutting them off of my life. And it's so interesting because, and I can only speak for myself, okay? I am such a loving person. I am such a loving person that my love for them doesn't end just because their presence is no longer a part of my daily life. My love for them grows every day, even during the distance. But it grows in the understanding that that person is not meant to be walking alongside me. And like again, it's very interesting when you allow yourself to do better for yourself because at first it hurts a lot and then you get scared and then you say, well, am I taking the right option, and am I being dramatic, am I being self-sabotaging? You second guess everything because it feels different and it feels very scary. But then comes a point where you get in front of a mirror and you look at yourself and you look at how much you've been suffering because you're holding on to these imaginary reins that are holding the people that you love. And you feel like things are going out of control. So you just want to hold on to these imaginary reins. You don't want to miss these people. You don't want to lose them. They've been there before. And the thought of losing them, even if they're not 100% perfect, is terrifying. But then you do let go of the imaginary ropes. and then you let them go. And you might cry, or you might feel this intense relief because you know deep down that you did what you had to do. And then you start getting all of this love and attention from people that have been waiting patiently to become friends to you because they saw the worth in you and they wanted a seat at your table, but it was full. It was full of people that didn't necessarily have the best interest for you, but you did. And then once you take inventory of who is in your corner, but who is actually in your corner, watching for you, praying for you, supporting you, you're unstoppable. It hurts. But then you start seeing yourself going up, 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 up. And then it becomes worth it. So, my dear passenger, I am speaking to you, friend to friend. You deserve a support system that wants the best for you. So take inventory of who's in your life and be honest. Who is not there for you? You can be there for them and you can be there in the distance. But they don't need to be right beside you. They don't need to drain your energy. They don't need to drain your motivation. They also don't need to have access to all the things that you're doing because they don't have the best interests. Well, my dear passengers, the time has come for the last stop of the day. That is recap time. Today's episode discussed friendships, which we now know mean the state of being friends. We now know that friendships can help us with our mental and physical well-being, and that's because friendships allow us to lower our stress levels, also watch out with our heart disease, and last but not least, help us report higher levels of satisfaction with life. We now know that friendships have 3 core traits, that is, stability over time, positivity in their relationship, and mutual cooperation and support. Last but not least, there's 5 signs of a healthy friendship. That means that if anybody in the friendship is doing this, it is a good sign that it is a healthy friendship, and that is emotional support, good listening, enjoyment, empathy, and forgiveness. Remember, self-growth is an endless journey towards self-improvement. However, you don't ever have to do it alone. As your tour guide, my goal is to guide you with the best intentions and the best research available. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at the Self-Growth Train Podcast, and to look at my new website, theselfgrowthtrainpodcast.com. As always, all the resources used today have been added to the episode's descriptions. Well, until the next stop, dear passengers, safe travels. Bye!